Advanced English Arabic Learning Session 17. Sawyer is a person who saws timber for a living. They applauded him with a great applause. The Chancellor was given a standing ovation. The performance received a thundering ovation. The cessation of hostilities. His parents are now living apart. She stepped away from him and stood apart. That sounds like condonation of sloth. Impose a sanction against slackness. Drivers who retrofit catalysts to older cars. To retrofit the van with shelving. Years of rationing and privation. Attempt to set new levels of depravity. Shares gives an entitlement to dividends. Students who plagiarize are expelled. A series of mutual covenants. She plagiarized and is paying the penalty. A minority can bring legal proceedings. He vindicated his view. Still claiming that his day of vindication is nigh. I snuffed out the candles before I went to bed. He endeavored to moralize an immoral society. He stopped a sudden fit of sneeze. You can buy the books for a small consideration. SH added fuel to the fire. The embeds did a super job in Iraq. He slid a coin into the slot of the jukebox. He slotted a cassette into the tape machine. A screwdriver fitted into the slot. These comments are thought-provoking. A middle-aged couple juked to the music. I juked down an alley, to move in a zigzag fashion. She could laugh and joke with her colleagues. The way biz is transacted. Show biz means the entertainment industry. I fixed my attention on the tower. The foundation denies fixing races. They instigated the reign of terror. I've always been fascinated by other cultures. Her flawless public facade masked private despair. He was moody and petulant. It was mere petulance. Take care not to condescend to your reader. Don't condescend to them, that's why they're not coming. The President presided the meeting. A divorce petition. Trying to sell the business as a going concern. An ambulance crew tried to resuscitate him. In the endeavor to resuscitate Rome's figurines. He was a very hard man to dislodge. The opponents failed to dislodge the Prime Minister. Some psychotic moron is going to plagiarize me. Blast. The car won't start. Music blasted out at full volume. Quantities of solid rock had to be blasted away. A blast of the ship's siren. The icy blast hit them means a strong gust of wind hit them. They were thrown backward by the blast. He was snoring loudly. She lay on the mattress listening to Sally's snores. She had sneered at their bad taste. The long neck of the giraffe. This small town fell to the gorillas. A climbing or trailing plant that bears gourds. The granary is a storehouse for threshed grain. The silo is a tall tower or pit on a farm used to store grain. To recall the passage verbatim. A resistive filament causing to emit electrons. The incandescent rocks. He did not live to see the realization of his dream. A growing realization for the need to ameliorate security. An uncanny feeling that she was being watched. Uncanny workmanship. The king was beheaded on the guillotine. To instigate change. A retrofit for all makes of sprayer. There was a brief hiatus in the war. What government says will be palliatives. An assignment of leasehold property. A homework assignment. The effective assignment of tasks. An inquisitorial system of trial. The company once offered apprenticeships. The parties no longer have privity with each other. Repudiation means revocation and renunciation. Equal punishment was ordained for the two crimes. Ordained by Allah as guidance for mankind. A speedy recovery. In order to thwart a takeover bid. The rupture with his father would never be healed. If the main artery ruptures, he could die. He has no recourse against the company. He was elected president on his third try. He tried to regain his breath. He was arrested and tried for the murder. I tried out the program before I bought it. He tried out for the baseball team. Each type of coffee is sourced from one country. There was a surge of interest in consumer matters. Her enthusiasm is contagious. Casting molten metal in a mold. To anatomize corpses. An embargo on grain sales. The court ordered the forfeiture of his computer. Little can be safely deduced from these figures. These tablets induces drowsiness and sleep. To iron out any remaining problems. A doctor examined me. We shall also examine the UN Convention. Anno Domini. The violation of the hate crime statute. The Sunnah is the beaten track. Sharia is a way to a watering place. The current state of affairs, status quo. To deduce a conclusion. A payee is a person to whom money is paid. Ransomware is usually aimed at individuals. Ordering the obligor to sign the requisite documents. A coarse woolen cloth. To optimize their credit exposures. The impediments. She's inclined to gossip with complete strangers. He was inclined to accept the offer. The road climbs a long incline through a forest. The collateral meanings of a word. Bilateral hearing is essential for sound location. Multilateral negotiations. Collateral veins. Loan collateral. Rubik cubes. Spiders creep me out. I have a slew of t-shirts. Cushy jobs that pay you to ski. The bell ropes passed through apertures in the ceiling. A frontier town. Willful acts of damage. Colliery owners. Rebuttable presumptions. An ex gratia payment. A hire purchase is termed as an installment plan. Steel bars. The courts give primacy to upholding agreements. The check was dispatched by courier. The free postage that members of Congress enjoy. The ventilation cowl was left closed. The pig food went moldy. The parties should have known that. He had a good repute. The seller can prove otherwise. To deny causality is to deny divine wisdom. Investigating the role of nitrate in the causation of cancer. The term is apt for implication. Weightlifters attempting a particularly heavy lift. She is giving me a lift back to school. He lifted his trophy over his head. Success begets further success. A serious impediment to scientific progress. I'm going to find out exactly what transpired. The individual philanthropy. He's good at criticizing others, but can't take it himself. He seemed to be very cross about something. They violated the terms of a ceasefire. A violent confrontation with riot police. He was splendidly dressed in the bluish violet. A splendid view of Windsor Castle. A picture or dress hook. Companies are looking for a sales hook. The truck had a red lamp hooked to its tailgate. She tried to hook up her bra. I was hooked by John's radical zeal. Can you hook me up with someone with a car? I'm having trouble hooking up to my wireless printer. Hooking up with total strangers can be very dangerous. He is currently espousing no religious belief. He's hooked up to a ventilator in the hospital. The lifeboat landed the survivors safely ashore. His exploits always landed him in trouble. Kindly hook it, I just want you to scram. Get out of here, you miserable wretches, scram. A centrifuge for a nuclear reactor. The shop was still boarded up. Helping with the harvest. After harvesting, most of the crop is stored. To harvest the silage crop. Use sieving to harvest. To sow a thin layer of seeds on top. The rafters in the barn have caught fire. The investee companies. Post-acquisition profits. To operate in a semi-autonomous way. She fumbled with the lock to get it open. A fumble from the keeper caused the third goal. He fumbled about in the dark but could not find her. Have you ever seen him fumble a ball? We don't offer sewer hookups. Chicken cooked on a spit. A spit of land is a narrow point of land projecting into the sea. The healthy edible foliage. The raiders fed the guard dog to keep it quiet. To make holes through which to feed the cables. The programs are fed into the computer. I've just given the horse its feed. It is a movie that spoofs other movies. The court-martial exonerated me. It is being distorted by trickery and ruses. He attempted to extort money from the company. If you cannot extort their money, don't distort their repute. The end. Coming next. Session 18.